and put this one shape that I think is most important. So I want to make sure I got it. There is a glint in there, so I'll try to save that. Then his eye has this pretty curve that is not in my drawing. I don't think I traced this eye great. Sometimes what you'll find too is once you start your painting, you'll find your tracing wasn't that great and you have to redraw areas anyway. So you'll have to do a lot of drawing anyway. Don't you worry, you'll get plenty of drawing in even if you trace. This area is all pretty much merged together. I'm looking at my reference a lot right now. His fur, this is very soft. I do not want any lines, so I'm going through that line and just putting clear water, making sure it stays soft. And then I'm gonna go in with some ultramarine blue to create more of a black. These are all pretty hard, harsh lines in here. Pure burnt sienna. I rinsed my brush out and now I'm going in with about milk consistency burnt sienna, and I'm gonna just drop it in there. And I'm gonna let all that merge. This line I want to be less harsh, so I'm going in with some clear water. I'm gonna go in with some clear water now into this little glint and just paint between those. And you can see it's softening and merging them together some. I'm gonna lift out a little bit. With a completely wrung out brush, I'm squeezing the brush out with my fingers, and then while this is still wet, now I want to go in and redefine this line with some cream consistency permanent or lamp black, and I'm going to put that line back in while I got this wet to redefine it because it kind of merged all together. But this, I'm going to go in and sop up some of this. I don't want this all. This is a light area. And sopping paint up also can have a nice effect because look how soft that looks. And then I can go back in with cream consistency in this area and rebuild a little bit of that curve that I like. You'll learn how to manipulate your paint so that eventually you'll be able to go in and sop things up and put things back in. And then you don't like it, so you go back in and you fix it again. And watercolor is so much more fixable than people realize. I want to soften this edge here. All right, that little eyeliner really popped that eye out nicely, didn't it? Although this line has gotten way too hard here. So I'm going to go in with clear water and I'm going to start up here. I'm going to start my puddle here so I make sure I don't put a puddle right next to this. I just have a little bit of water by the time I get down here, and I can draw all this up. Now I'm going in here and lightening this area. And I'm going to go again in with cream consistency in this area. See how I just continue to work an area until I'm happy with it while it's wet? That's the key, is getting all this done while it's wet so you can keep everything soft and beautiful. Because once it dries, you can still rework it, but it won't be the same. See now. I need to do the same approach. I don't want this line hard. I'm going to paint right up into it and over it. Keep everything really soft. If I give the viewer more information than that, it's not going to be pleasing. So let me stop and give it a breather there and let it dry and see if I like it, and then I can make adjustments if I want to, but I'm really happy with that. I think I want to make this eye a little bigger by pushing this down. I think I got this dark line think it needs to go down here. Do you see how I did that? Look how romantic that looks with that smudged edge though. Blurred edges, it makes things look more romantic somehow. I'm gonna let that dry. I'm gonna let that sink. But I am hoping to be able to stop doing commissions soon and focus full time on my Patreon. I'm really excited by how many people have been joining, and it's just making me realize that this is a real possibility for me to start doing more full time. And do you know what that means? It means I will be able to paint for video tutorials things that are just things that people want to paint. For example, this giraffe would never be a tutorial if I didn't have enough students to support me to do that. But I'll be able to do some of these paintings like flowers even. And I definitely really am itching to do this one for you guys. This is a G-clay of a painting I did. It's an 11 by 14. For the purpose of doing a tutorial, I want to do it again. And if it continues to grow like it has over the next few months, we'll get there sooner rather than later, and I can start doing some of these really fun tutorials. I'd love to do this painting because it is actually a pretty easy painting, I think. And it's splashy and fun, not too hard, beautiful colors. I've got so many things that I want to do for you guys. And do you notice how cleaned up my house is? Oh, look at Blue Jay. Mr. Blue Jay's out there. Yes, my darling husband took my son to work so that I could make videos. And so I'm very excited to be able to do that. And look at my lettuce. It's growing out of the crack of my patio. Here's my little setup. All right, you guys, I think that's a good place to stop. And be sure to ask me questions. The questions you guys have been asking me are really great, and they're very helpful for me to remember what I need to talk about when I'm painting and or doing voiceovers to try to explain some of these concepts to you guys. So keep those questions coming, and I'm really enjoying seeing your progress on the watercolor workshop Facebook page too. So I'm really enjoying it when you guys post your progress there of how your painting's coming or any other project you're working on. So keep posting there too. And I hope you guys are having a good day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.